Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 29th January 2022. In this lecture, overall we are going to discuss 9 topics which are very much relevant to UPSC. So let us have a brief introduction regarding the topics. Now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic, it is regarding electoral bonds. So why this electoral bonds is in news? Now in the next month we are going to have elections in 5 states. So this electoral bond scheme, it is in news, and now it is our duty to revise those ones. So this is important from polity, which mainly comes in the GS paper 2. And this scheme, which is very much important from both your prelims and as well as your mains. And next topic, it is regarding at the center. Actually this topic, it is talking about India Central Asia Summit. Okay, we are going to see highlights once again. And this topic is important from our international relations, which mainly comes in the GS paper 2. And next topic, it is regarding willing to talk to Pakistan on pilgrims flights. I think day before yesterday we discussed about one article regarding India-Pakistan relations, especially regarding this pilgrims. So recently one step which is taken by Pakistan was Pakistan Hindu Council. They mainly want to come up with the flights, flights regarding the pilgrims who want to visit India, and also they will allow the tourists from India to Pakistan to visit sites in Pakistan, especially for certain time limit. Okay, and this is the one development that we can see. Okay, so here this article is important from our international relations, which mainly comes in the GS paper 2. And next topic, it is regarding this BRT Tiger Reserve. So in this BRT Tiger Reserve, tiger enumeration begins, that is counting of tigers. So this is important from your environment and ecology, and you have to see where is this tiger reserve it is located, and that will be important from your prelims. And next topic, it is about Philippines inks $375 million Brahmos missile deal. Okay, it is deal between India and Philippines regarding this Brahmos missiles. So here you need to know some facts regarding this Brahmos missiles. That will be important from your prelims. So this article will be important from international relations, and even we can talk under defense, which mainly comes under GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 respectively. And next topic, it is about Neocov. Okay, so this topic is important from your science and technology, and especially from your prelims point of view. And next topic is regarding FTA, Free Trade Agreement Dialogue Productive between India and UK. And this topic is also important from your economy. So apart from that, we are going to see 2 articles regarding vocals for locals and also reservation for SCs and as well as STs, what the Supreme Court said. So these are the topics. Now we are going to have our discussion, and let us start with our discussion with our quote. So this is a quote of Swami Vivekananda regarding education. So education is also one of the important and favorite area of UPSC, and if you follow this current affairs daily, so here and there you will be getting articles regarding education. So in yesterday's lecture also we discussed about school education and impact due to this COVID-19. And there will be the number of reports like ASA reports that will be seen in news regarding education. And this education is also one of the favorite area of UPSC. So you need to come up with some quotes, and you need to be prepared, ready for quotes regarding education. So this is the first quote on education that we are going to discuss. So quote says that we want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. So it is about the education that we required. Okay, so whatever the education that we are getting from either schools, colleges or universities, so that education that should form a character, and that should strengthen our mind, and that need to increase our intelligence, and that education that should help to stand on our own feet. So this is the education that we need. So where can you use this type of quote? Whenever you are talking about quality of education in India. So here mainly what are the books that are present in our education system that are outdated? And if you are comparing with other countries' education, they are very much fast forward. They are based on this technology. So in this context, what kind of education do you want? So in this way, you can use this type of quotes. And now let us try to see the first topic. Title says to the poll booth with no donor knowledge. So this article which is talking about electoral bond scheme. And this topic it is important from your polity point of view, which mainly comes in a GS paper 2. And this topic it is important from your both prelims and as well as means. Okay. So now let us try to see context, and later on we are going to our basics regarding this electoral bonds. So if you are talking about this image, so this image it is talking about electoral bonds. Electoral bonds which is mainly focusing on funding to these political parties. So if we are talking about context, why these electoral bonds is in news. So in late last year, our central government or union government authorized SBI, State Bank of India, for what? To issue and to encash a new tranche of electoral bonds. And these 19th such parcel, since the scheme notification is done in 2018. Since 2018, okay, if you are talking about till late last year, it was like 19th parcel of this electoral bonds. So now we are going to talk about this electoral bond scheme because of now the elections mainly going to be started in 5 different state assemblies. So because of this is a news. And now let us try to understand what is this electoral bond scheme. First of all, let us try to understand what is this electoral bond. So electoral bond is nothing but, have you ever saw any promissory note? So in the same way, it is a bond. Bond is nothing but a promissory note. So if you see this is a bond means, so this will contain how much amount of money, okay, and it will be contain interest, okay, and it will be having authority name which is giving that bond. So electoral bond, it is nothing but it is a financial instrument, and this mainly used for making donations. For whom? Making donation for especially political parties. To make donation for these political parties, so there are some financial instruments. Those instruments are called as electoral bonds. And these electoral bonds, they will be issued in the multiples of 1,000, in multiples of 10,000 rupees, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, 1 crore without any maximum limit. And which bank is authorized to give this or issue these electoral bonds? That is SBI, State Bank of India. Okay, SBI is authorized to issue and to encash these bonds. And these bonds will be valid for 15 days after issuance. Okay, after date of issuance, it will be valid for 15 days, and within these 15 days, that political party, they need to go for encashing. And these bonds are redeemable in designated account of a registered political party. Okay, so whenever any registered political party is there, on the name of this political party, they can go for issuance of this electoral bonds. And these bonds are available for the person, okay, by any person who is a citizen of India or who incorporated or established in India, and for a period of 10 days. For the period of 10 days in every month of January, April, July, October, in specified dates, they will be going for issuing of this electoral bonds. And a person who is being an individual can buy bonds either singly or even by jointly with other individuals. So on these bonds, donor name will not be mentioned. So these are some important facts regarding this electoral bonds. And now let us try to see what is this electoral bond scheme. So actually, when we want to go for funding, for these political parties, okay, so mainly this funding pattern should be very much clean. So because of this, government came up with this electoral bond scheme. And this scheme which mainly helps to cleanse the political party funding system in the country. So if we're talking about nature, it is like a financial instrument, okay, and we can say simply like a promissory note, and they are interest-free banking instruments as well. So who are eligible to buy these electoral bonds? Citizen of India or any organization which is incorporated in India. Okay, and they need to fulfill the KYC norms, and they can go to bank and they can do payment and they can get this electoral bonds. And if you're talking about lifespan of this electoral bonds, it is like 15 days. After date of issuance, it is mainly valid for 15 days. and it can be used for making donations only to the political parties which are mainly registered under the Representation of People's Act of 1951, not for all the political parties. So parties which are mainly registered under this Representation of People's Act, then they will be eligible. And if you're talking about when I can go for purchasing of these electoral bonds, so these bonds which are mainly available for the purchase for the period of 10 days in each months of January, April, July and October. Okay, so these months will be prescribed by our government. So if we're talking about how these electoral bonds work, so first of all, the notified banks will be chosen, and these banks, they will be issuing these electoral bonds. And for example, if I am the donor, I will be going to this bank and I will be purchasing this electoral bond, okay, either by the check or by the digital payment, and I will be taking this bond and I will be giving to the political party of my choice within a specific period of time. And what happened, this political party, after receiving this electoral bond, they will go and they will deposit this bond in an account, okay, and here they will be getting this money. So in this way, this electoral bond mainly works. If you are talking about what will be the benefits, okay, so whenever there is a funding which is happening to this bank account, means we will be having details, transaction details, so that it will ensure transparency. Okay, it will be helpful in transparency in this political donations. And next one is, so we can also know how much funding that mainly coming, okay, to that so and so political party. And there is also non-disclosure of recipients that will ensure people are free to donate money for these political parties of their choice. And next one is, will reinforce the idea of moving away from this cash system towards clean money. Okay, it is also promoted. And the time duration here is 15 days. So between buying and as well as selling, that will ensure that they don't earn into parallel economy. That will also lead to black money. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see what are the challenges. So if you're talking about challenges regarding this electoral bond scheme, the first and the foremost thing here is it is hindering the right to know. It is mainly hindering the right to know. So voters will not know which individual or which company or organization which mainly funded for so and so political party. Okay, so before the introduction of this electoral bonds, political parties, they had to disclose the details of the donors, okay, who have donated more than 20,000 rupees. And this change, whenever you are going for this electoral bonds, so the change mainly infringes the citizens' right to know and to make the political class even more unaccountable. So because of this, it also will leads to this political parties, they will become even more unaccountable. And there is also shallow anonymity which is present. So anonymity does not apply to the government of the day, but here this anonymity can always access this donor details by demanding the data from this SBI. Okay. So whenever these donors are going and purchasing these bonds, here State Bank of India, they will be having some details, right? So because of this, what happened here, government, they can go for SBI banks and they can get the data. So in this way, there is a shallow anonymity that is mainly present. And there is also an authorized donation that we can see here. So in a situation where the contribution received through these electoral bonds, they are not reported. Okay, so because of this, that will comes under this unauthorized donations. And next one is leading to crony capitalism. So these electoral bond scheme, okay, it could become a convenient channel for the businesses to round trip their cash, which mainly parked in the tax havens. So because of this, that may also have a chance of leading to this crony capitalism. And next one is loopholes. So if you're talking about loopholes, corporate entities may not enjoy the benefit of transparency, as they might have to disclose the amount donated to the registrar of companies and electoral bonds. Okay, eliminate the 7.5% cap on the company's donations. Okay, so that will lead to some loss making for these companies as well. So this is the gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says at the center, already from last 2 days onwards, we are discussing the Central Asian Summit. So again, let us have a discussion regarding this India Central Asian Summit. So this article will be important from GS paper 2 under international relations. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you're talking about why it is in news, you already know that our Prime Minister hosted this India Central Asia Summit in virtual format. And he met with mainly 5 presidents of the Central Asian countries. So if you're talking about India Central Asia Summit, so it is a first of its kind engagement between India and Central Asian countries. Okay, so it is the first of its kind engagement between India and Central Asian countries. And this summit, it was attended by the presidents of these 5 Central Asian countries. For example, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and as well as Turkmenistan. So what are the objectives? There are 3 important objectives of this India Central Asian Summit. So first one is to make clear that cooperation between India and as well as Central Asian countries, it is very much essential for regional security and as well as prosperity. So first one, it is they mainly focus on this regional security and as well as prosperity. And next one is they also said that it will be very much helpful for effective structure to our cooperation. So it will be also helpful for cooperation between India and as well as Central Asian countries. And it will be also going to create some ambitious roadmap for our cooperation as well. So these are the important objectives of this summit. Now let us try to see some key highlights. So first one is Delhi Declaration. So leaders mainly issued this Delhi Declaration at the end of the summit. At the end of the summit, leaders mainly issued this Delhi Declaration. And second important one is they also focused on institutionalizing the summit mechanism. So in this summit here, these leaders who mainly agreed to institutionalize the summit mechanism, and they also decided that they will hold this annual meetings or we can say like this type of summits they can come up with once in every 2 years. And at India and Central Asia Secretariat in New Delhi, that would also be said to support this new mechanism. So even this new mechanism, it is going to be supported by our India. And next one is annual meetings. So in this summit, they also said that they are going to have annual meetings regarding foreign, trade, cultural ministers and as well as secretaries of security. So they are going to have annual meetings. And they also had a talk regarding connectivity, defense and as well as cultural relations. Okay, and in this context, they discussed about cooperation in areas of connectivity, defense and as well as cultural contacts. And next one is trade. Okay, next one is trade. They discussed the possibilities of increasing Indian trade with Central Asia region, which is mainly beyond the country low levels of about $2 billion. Okay, so in this trade also they discussed the possibilities of increasing Indian trade with the Central Asian region. Okay, with the Indian trade there is also some possibilities of increasing of trade between India and Central Asia. So already we discussed that trade between the Central Asian countries and China, it is like $100 billion, but with India it is just $2 billions. So because of this, there is a high range of potential to increase the trade between this India and as well as Central Asian countries. And if you're talking about Turkmenistan, which also talked about this Tapi pipeline, that is a pipeline that is mainly connecting Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India. And next they also talked about situation in Afghanistan. So already you know that Afghanistan, which is under control of this Taliban. Okay, and also there are some issues regarding terrorist attacks and as well as what are sanctions which are mainly imposed by this UNSC, and even the rights violations of women, children, etc. And we are seeing worst humanitarian crisis that is seen in Afghanistan. And in this meeting, they mainly agreed on 5 important things. First one is the round table and energy connectivity. Second one is they want to come up with this joint working group. It mainly focus on this Afghanistan and even use of Chabahar port, which is located in Iran. And next one is they also showcased this Buddhist exhibitions in the Central Asian countries, and they also come up with this joint counter-terrorism mechanisms or exercises, and they want to visit a 100 youth delegation annually from the Central Asian countries to India. So these are some important things which mainly agreed in this summit. So now let us try to see the map. So this map, it is very interesting. Here we have Kazakhstan, here we have Uzbekistan, here we have Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan and Tajikistan. So these 5 countries are our Central Asian countries. Here we have Aral Sea. Aral Sea, which is mainly present across the border between Kazakhstan and as well as Uzbekistan. And here we have Lake Balkhash, and here we have Lake Zion, and here we have this Caspian Sea. So here, these are some important water bodies that you need to remember regarding this topic. And if you're talking about one more little important subtopic here is why India is showing interest in Central Asia. So this point you need to add in your India Central Asia relations. So if you're talking about what is the significance, so first and the foremost thing here is Central Asia mainly sits in the heart of Eurasia. So because of this, there is increasing of influence from India, and as well as we can see there is other countries' presence also increased in these Central Asian countries. Okay, and we can also see some geopolitical transformations that is seen in this international arena, and many countries they are currently competing with the increased influence and power over the region. And what happened, countries like for example India and as well as China, they expanded even their markets throughout this Eurasia. So because of this is also very important. Okay, so these are some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says willing to talk to Pakistan on pilgrims flights India. So actually there was one move which is mainly came forward from Pakistan Hindu Council. Okay, so now this is the one development regarding that issue. So now let us try to discuss this topic. Actually we need to talk about 1974 protocol regarding the pilgrims between India and Pakistan. Okay, so now let us try to see why it is in news. So India also showing some of positive sign, and as well as India is also willing to engage in talks with Pakistan on upgrading of this 1974 joint protocol on religious pilgrims. And actually this protocol, which is mainly talking about to allow air travel and to increase the number of shrines that pilgrims from both the countries could visit. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly talked about Ministry of External Affairs. Okay, so first thing here is India is also showing some positive sign and is also willing to engage with Pakistan, and they want to go for air travel and they want to increase the number of flights. Okay, and they also want to increase the number of pilgrim shrines that to be visited. Okay, so these are some positive connotations we can see regarding this issue. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that the Pakistan government had sent a proposal, okay, that is mainly from Pakistan Hindu Council, and they said that India need to allow about 170 pilgrims to fly directly from Karachi and Lahore to the places of worship in India, and that too by using airways, that is flights. So in this context, Ministry of External Affairs also confirmed that it hoped to secure clearances to transport food aid to Afghanistan over the land to Pakistan. Actually, you know that. So if you draw this northern India, so here this is our Pak occupied Kashmir. Here Afghanistan shades the boundary. Okay, and here this part it is Pakistan, and here it is a POK, Pak occupied Kashmir, and here Afghanistan, which is mainly sharing boundary here in this. So on map, India is sharing for sure boundary with Afghanistan, but this area which is mainly comes under this Pak occupied Kashmir. So because of this, we do not have a direct contact. So when we want to go for reaching of Afghanistan, we can go through Pakistan, but Pakistan will not allow. So we are using Iran's Chabahar port mainly to reach this Afghanistan, right? So now in this context, Minister of External Affairs also confirmed that it is mainly hoping to secure the clearances regarding transportation of food aid, because Afghanistan, which is now facing worst humanitarian crisis, okay, to provide some humanitarian aid, so we need to reach Afghanistan, and now Pakistan land can be used. Okay, if Pakistan will be accepting, so we can have a contact, or we can have land route, we can go through Pakistan to Afghanistan to provide some food aid to this Afghanistan. So there is an interest on both the sides to expand the agreed list of event shrines and the mode of travel. So mode of travel, they will be going to update with the air travel, and they are also going to increase this list of shrines. So now let us try to talk about what is this protocol regarding this religious shrines of 1974. So actually it is a bilateral agreement that is mainly signed between India and as well as Pakistan. So this agreement, which mainly facilitates Indian and as well as Pakistani nationals to visit certain religious shrines in both the countries. In both the countries, they can go for visiting of certain shrines. So we discussed about these shrines in our day before yesterday's lecture. And if you're talking about what are the principles in this protocol, there are 4 principles that you need to remember. So first one here is, so visits, okay, visits from these 2 countries, that is pilgrims, whenever they want to go for this pilgrimage shrines, so they should be allowed without any discrimination based on their religion or sect. This is the first one. And next one is, up to 20 parties may be allowed to visit from one country to another every year, and this number can be updated. Okay. And next one is, we need to ensure that places of religious worship, they should be mentioned in agreed list, and those shrines, they need to be properly maintained and their sanctity need to be preserved. So this is the third principle. And fourth one is, so if any visitor who want to visit India, or from India they want to visit Pakistan, they will get visitor category visa. Okay. So these are the some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding tiger enumeration. Tiger enumeration or tiger number counting at BRT. So BRT, it is Biligiri Ranganatha Swami Temple Tiger Reserve. Okay, Biligiri Ranganatha Swami Temple Tiger Reserve. Actually, this topic, it is important from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if we are talking about context, okay, it is saying that tiger enumeration is underway at this Biligiri Ranganatha Swami Temple Tiger Reserve. Actually, this tiger reserve, which is located in state of Karnataka. So if we are talking about some facts regarding this tiger reserve, it is mainly situated between western and as well as eastern Ghats. Okay, in this Biligiri Ranganatha Swami Rangaswamy Temple. Okay. So it is mainly situated between eastern Ghats and as well as western Ghats. It is at this Biligiri Rangaswamy Temple Tiger Reserve. It is mainly present at southeastern, okay, here southeastern part of this Karnataka, and it is mainly located at this Tamil Nadu border. Actually, this tiger reserve, which is named after this Rangaswamy temple. Okay, and next one is, it also declared as a protected reserve in the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 as well. And this area, which is mainly contains scrubs and as well as dry deciduous, moist deciduous, evergreen, semi-evergreen and shola forest. Okay, so these are some important facts. And now let us try to see the map. So here we have Karnataka. Here, if you see, this is the south and this is the southeast part. So in the southeast part, at the border of this Tamil Nadu, we have this BRT Wildlife Sanctuary and Tiger Reserve. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Philippines. Philippines inks $375 million for this Brahmos missile deal. Already we discussed that in our earlier lectures that we are going to have the agreement between India and Philippines regarding this Brahmos missile. So now this agreement, which had been signed. Okay, so this is important from international relations and even defense point of view. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that Philippines signed $374.96 million deal with this Brahmos Aerospace Private Limited. Okay, with this Brahmos Aerospace Private Limited. So Philippines mainly signed $374.96 million deal. So it is regarding Brahmos supersonic cruise missile. So already we discussed about types of missiles like ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, etc. Right? And it is the first exported order for the missile, and it is a joint product of India and Russia. So if you see this image, so this is the image of our Brahmos missile, right? So if you're talking about some details regarding this Brahmos missile, so this infographic will be very useful here. So all information regarding this Brahmos missile that I kept in one place, so that you will be having a good vision regarding this Brahmos missile system. So actually this missile can be launched from submarines, by using submarines, by using ships, by using aircrafts, by on land as well. Okay, and it is one of the fastest supersonic cruise missiles in the world, and it is one of the world's fastest anti-ship cruise missile that is currently in operation as well. And this missile, that is Brahmos missile, which is one of the medium range supersonic cruise missile which mainly developed by DRDO and as well as Russia. And this Brahmos missile, which is named after two major rivers of India and Russia, that is Brahmaputra and as well as Moscow. Okay, and this technology, which is mainly used in joint venture based on Russia's P-80 Onyx cruise missiles, and as well as it is also similar with the sea skimming cruise missiles from Russia. And the land launched and ship launched versions are already in service. An air launched variant of this Brahmos prepared in 2012, and later it entered into service recently in 2019. And this hypersonic version of this missile, that is Brahmos 2, is also presently under development, and the speed here it is like 7 to 8 Mach, that is 7 to 8 times the speed of the sound. Okay, and this a hypersonic version that's going to be tested by 2024. So these are some important details regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says study raises concerns on this Neocov. Okay, we need to focus on this Neocov. So this will be important from your science and technology point of view. So if we are talking about context, it mainly says that a single molecular change that led to this Neocov. Okay, and this Neocov, it is also have the capability even to affect human cells, and it is using the same pathway how the SARS coronavirus 2, which is mainly infecting, that is they are using this ACU2 inhibitor, ACU2 receptors to enter into our cells. So this is the thing which mainly said by this Chinese report. So if you're talking about details regarding this Neocov, so Neocov currently which mainly very similar to this COVID-19 virus, and it is also causing this coronavirus in many ways. So this Neocov, which has been detected especially in the population of bats in South Africa, and later on there is a report saying that there was exclusively spreading among these animals. Okay, exclusive spreading of this virus across these animals, and this Neocov virus which have been linked to mainly the previous outbreaks. So it is mainly linked to our previous outbreaks, especially in this Middle East countries that happened in 2012 and as well as in 2015. In 2012 and 2015, so because of this Middle East countries outbreak, so one of the important reason here is Neocov. And next one is, according to scientists at Chinese Wuhan's lab, so this Neocov virus has an extremely high transmission. There is extremely high transmission, and if you're talking about fatality rate, it is also very, very high. So what will be the symptoms? Symptoms will be similar like the SARS coronavirus as well. So if we're talking about Middle East respiratory syndrome, what is this Middle East respiratory syndrome? So actually this MERS coronavirus, which mainly called as novel coronavirus, actually the first time it was reported in 2012. Okay, and first confirmed case was reported in Saudi Arabia in 2012. In Saudi Arabia, the first case was reported. And this Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus is a species of coronavirus, and this coronavirus which mainly infects bats, humans, and as well as even camels. So these virus contains envelope, and they will contain a single stranded RNA. Okay, they will contain single stranded RNA. Actually, here a Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, which mainly reported over 21 countries by July 2015, and they were mainly found in Middle East, Europe, Asia, and as well as North America. And actually, this virus was identified by World Health Organization. Okay, identified by World Health Organization, and they also said that it might be leading to the future epidemics as well. So because of this, WHO said that there is a need of urgent research and as well as development regarding this virus. So this is gist of this topic. And now let us try to move on to next topic. Title says FTA dialogue productive, UK and India. Okay, so it is mainly talking about free trade agreement. Already we discussed number of times regarding this free trade agreement, what is it. So now let us see once again a small brief discussion regarding this FTA. So this topic, it is important from our economy point of view, which mainly comes under our GS paper 3. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that India and UK, they concluded the first round of discussions for ambitious free trade agreement. Okay, India and UK, they came up with the first round of this free trade agreement. So this is the image I found, and it is very interesting, right? So it is about free trade agreement. So what is this free trade agreement first of all? So here one country and here another country. Just name this as one, and second one is number 2. So between these two countries, there is a pact. Pact is also called as an agreement. So this agreement, which is mainly regarding to reduce barriers regarding imports and as well as exports. So this free trade agreement, it is a pact between 2 or more nations to reduce barriers regarding imports and as well as exports. Under this free trade policy, goods, services, they can be brought and they can be sold across international borders with a little or no government tariffs. So the tariffs, they should be very less, or sometimes it will be zero, and there is a need of little quotas and as well as subsidies, prohibitions, etc. here. Okay, so actually this free trade agreement, which is a concept which is opposed towards this protectionism or economic isolationism. So if you're talking about what is the pros and what is the cons, so when we have this free trade agreements, that will improve economic growth because of increasing of exports and as well as imports. And next one is it will also lower the government spending as well. And next one is that will also sometimes lead to technological transfer. So these will be the pros. And if you are talking about cons, that will lead to outsourcing of jobs. That means there will be the jobs will be moving to other countries. And next one is poor working conditions, sometimes we can see, and that will also lead to degradation of natural resources because we will go for increasing of our exports. So these are about this topic, and now let us move on to next topic. Title says youth of country can boost vocal for local campaign. So already we discussed about this vocal for local campaign number of times. So here in this article, our Prime Minister says that youth plays an important role. Okay, youth will plays a big role in vocal for local, and in this vocal for local, youth can make India is self-reliant. That means we need to focus on increasing of our domestic manufacturing. Okay, we need to focus on the locals, and whenever we are giving some incentives for this domestic industries, they will be going for increasing of manufacturing. So whenever there is increasing of manufacturing, we can go for exports. Okay, so mainly in this vocal for local, youth have an important role. So this is the thing which mainly said by our Prime Minister. And now your homework, it is to do some research regarding vocals for local, right? And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding states must decide scheduled caste or scheduled tribe quota in promotions. So here I want to ask you one question. So which are the constitutional provisions in India? So what are the constitutional provisions which are mainly dealing with this reservations? So let me know those constitutional provisions in comment box. Don't forget about that. So what this article says? Article says that Supreme Court refused to lay down yardstick for determining the inadequacy of representation for granting reservations in promotions for this SCs and as well as ST candidates in government jobs. So we are talking about reservations. So this article is talking about promotions for the scheduled caste as well as scheduled tribes candidates in the government jobs. So you have to know about famous Nagaraju case regarding this promotions for this scheduled caste and scheduled tribes regarding this reservation, and already we discussed this topic. So please do some research regarding this. Okay, and now let us try to see explanation for yesterday's questions. So first question is regarding sunspots. Sunspots are the one found on the outer surface of the sun. Consider the statements regarding the sunspots. So first one here is sunspots region generally have lower temperature than the surrounding region on the outer surface. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. And this one is sunspot do not have any effect on Earth's climate. But because of the sunspots, there is an effect that is seen on this Earth's climate. So because of this, we can eliminate this. So you can eliminate the options which is containing option 2. So correct option will be the option 2 here. Okay, 1, 3, 4. So in this way you can go for elimination techniques that will be very much useful in your UPSC prelims. So third statement here is each period of weak sunspot activities that mainly correlates with the period of overall high solar radiation output from the sun's surface. Yes, so whenever there is any weak sunspot activity that is happening, so that will be also correlated with the period of overall sun radiation as well. And sunspots generally have lower year cycle. Yes, this statement is also absolutely correct. So correct option will be option 2. And second question is regarding continental drift theory. So if you have completed continental drift theory in your 11th class NCERT, then you can easily answer this question. So Cialic mass used to float over the CMA without any resistance being offered by CMA. Okay, Cial will be floating on CMA. Yes, this is absolutely correct. And next one is earlier land mass was united to form a massive landform. So according to this continental drift theory, it mainly says that there was a super continent and super ocean is present. Super continent is called as Pangaea and super continent is ocean. Okay, super continent is called as Pangaea and super ocean is called as Panthalassa. So here this statement which is asking about this super continent, that is Pangaea, not Panthalassa. So Panthalassa, it is a super ocean. So this second statement is incorrect. Okay, and next one here is the ocean floors were considered to be stable and never moved. Okay, yes, this statement is also absolutely correct. So correct statement here is 2. One statement is correct and third statement is correct. So correct option here is 2. So this is about explanation regarding yesterday's questions. And now let us try to see the today's questions. So before seeing today's questions, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So if you want to clear this UPSC, I will strongly suggest you to join prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing course that we are offering in our Rathod's IAS. So in this prelims test series, we are offering 30 tests, which mainly includes CSAT and also our GS. Okay, in GS we are having sectional test, combinational test, revision test, and as well as our full length test. So this will be helpful for revising your entire subjects at least 2 to 3 times for sure. And next one is mains answer writing course. So this mains answer writing, it is a deciding factor whether your name will be there in the final list or not. If you want to clear UPSC, you need to focus on this mains answer writing. Even though if you started preparation now or you already gave your attempts, you need to focus on this mains answer writing. So because in 3 hours of time, you need to answer 20 questions. So on average, you will be getting 7 to 7.5 minutes for one question. Okay. So to write all those answers, you need to excel in this answer writing. You need to know how to write. And here we are going to follow 7:5:3 principle. This will be very, very effective here. And next one here is, so in this course, we will be giving you weekly targets such that, so you will be completing entire your static syllabus, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 within 1 year time frame. So if you follow this course continuously and regularly, I will assure you that each and every topic in your syllabus will be completed along with that year's current affairs. And this course is very, very useful, and we are offering evaluation of your answer, and we also provide you model answer, and there will be also one-to-one mentorship. And the new batch of this mains answer writing course, it is going to be started from February 1st. So please be hurry up. Please be hurry and try to join this course. Already registration had been opened. And apart from this, we also launched a foundational course for UPSC, CSC, GS. So in this, we are providing more than 700 hours of lectures. So those are recorded sessions, and we are focusing on conceptual clarity, and we are covering each and every aspect of your syllabus for sure. And this thing you can't find anywhere. And next one is, if you want to take individual courses, like if you're not perfect in economy, or if you need any guidance regarding geography or history like that, you can take individual subjects also. So the cost is very, very affordable. And the details of this course are given in description box. If you want to watch any demo videos regarding these courses, so please visit our Rathod's IAS Academy website. There you can watch 3 videos free of cost without paying a single penny regarding each and every module. Okay. And if you want to download this app of Rathod's IAS, link is given in description box. You can also download that. And now I want to say one more thing. If you want to talk to me directly, you can call to this number 8074765513, and I am the academic director of this Rathod's IAS, and you can 100% trust us. And now let's come back and let us see today's questions. So first question is regarding this plate tectonics theory. So first statement here is destructive plate boundary is one in which continuous upwelling of molten material, that is lava, take place. And next one is divergent plate boundary is one which two plates slide past on another, thus neither creating nor destroying continental landmass. And next one is convergent plate boundary is one in which one plate overrides the another plate. So you have to identify the correct statements. And next question is regarding geysers and as well as hot springs. So this thing you can get in the landforms. Okay, landforms chapter you will be coming through this hot springs and as well as geysers. So first statement here is hot water and vapor sprouts from geyser tube intermittently, and it represents the minor form of border process of volcanicity, and it is found only in the tropical regions. So you have to identify incorrect statements. So try to answer these questions and let me know your answers in comment box. There will be no negative marking, so you can answer those questions. Okay, and the explanation part for these questions we can see in our tomorrow's lecture. So by this I am concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. You can share my videos in the different Telegram groups such that it will be also beneficial for many students. So this is the one favor I am asking from your side. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.